The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Seven-time NASCAR champion Jimmy Johnson once said, "There's no other way to start the season than to win the Daytona 500. Tonight, the great simulation race is on. Yes, it's not 500 miles, it's 300 miles in the Premier Racing League, and only one guy knows what it's like to win the Daytona 300. That's Dan Murray. It's been a long wait for the drivers of the Patriot Fire Cup Series, but after 365 days, there's always one day for these drivers to cross the finish line as Daytona 300 winner, and that time is now." A track that opened in 1959 has become a destination for all. And for all drivers, it's a place where they get goosebumps crossing under the tunnel in Turn 4 and realize they have made it to Daytona. Welcome to the Daytona International Speedway in the second Patriot Fire Cup Series, Daytona 300. It's an honor to be with you on iRacing Live and on the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Chris Scala, joined by the man who was here last year to call the first 300, Sean Ambrose, Amjad Yamin, behind the scenes, as always, in Central Florida's own Dougie Beard, working the cameras on this beautiful afternoon. Now, Sean, we have been sitting here waiting since Atlanta last season for this night, and it's here. Welcome to the Daytona 300, my friend. How you feeling?
Hey, folks, I'm back. Yes, for another 300 miles here at Daytona International Speedway. Chris, I hope I sound fired up because, brother, I am. I am so ready to go tonight. Already watched one duel on television. No spoilers. But I am fired up for this one. We got 300 miles coming your way tonight, folks, and you do not want to miss this race. We've already seen several great races over the last week. Tonight is going to be the crown jewel in the Premier Racing League.
And that's what it's here for, the great simulation race. Now, Sean, it's been MP3 Design Speed Week so far. Let's talk about what people have missed so far if they're just joining us tonight for the first time.
Well, MP3 Design's pole night 2 weeks ago was full of surprises, Chris. Tommy Ryan stuck the Northern Tool number 6 on the pole with Josh Grupa locking down second. Then last week for the MP3 Design duels, we had a big wreck in the duel, in Duel 1 that sent many drivers to backup cars for the race tonight. But not Randy Yoakum, who stole race 1, and after another big wreck late in race 2, Brian Yazik landed in victory lane. Both of those races had points involved for the top 10 finishers, so Randy Yoakum and Brian Yazik lead the points going into tonight's race.
And that leads us to tonight. Last year, this race only saw 3 cautions and a green flag run of over 80 laps to start this race, but only one driver could win when it was all over with, and that driver was Dan Murray, as we welcomed him into our channel. Dan, my man, it's been 365 days. You have been the only Daytona 300 winner tonight. Can you make it number 2?
I think if we can make it through all the carnage that usually happens, then I think we'll be in good shape.
Well, Dan, you've kind of rode around a little bit during speed weeks. We've been watching you, and you've had some good runs, but for the most part, you've been mid to back of the pack. Is that what you're thinking about tonight, riding a little bit and then see where you get to at the end?
Riding hasn't really gotten me anywhere this week. I've been involved in some things that I probably shouldn't have been involved in. And usually I told my guys that my plan hasn't worked all week, so I'd be willing to go with whatever plan they had.
So, to kind of explain to the viewers who we have tonight, you go back to that date last year in February. What was it like to stand on that top step as not only the first winner in the Premier Racing League Cup Series, but to win the Daytona 300?
It was definitely one of the biggest sim racing wins of my career, if you call it that. But no, I was extremely happy just to be the first one to win under the PRL Cup banner was kind of exciting to do, and I really enjoy racing with these guys. And if I would have known that would have kicked off the year that it kicked off last year, then I'm pretty sure I'd be looking to do the same thing every time I come here.
Well, how's that number 5 treating you this evening?
Now we're fast. Just trying to find the right line to ride in and make some ground when we have to. As far as if we're in the back of a pack, what's the best way to work our way to the front? And things are going pretty well. We're second on the board in practice, which, I mean, it's Daytona, so anybody could be second in practice, but we feel comfortable and we're ready to go.
Well, Dan, we wish you the best of luck tonight, and for the next, 2.5, 3 hours, you're still the only Daytona 300 winner, and who knows, maybe you'll be the only winner still when it's all over with. Maybe we'll talk to you in Victory Lane.
Yeah, man, I appreciate what you guys do, and real quick before I got off, one of the guys from our area, Kelly Kofsky, he's known for, he's made a few ARCA starts on the dirt tracks here in Illinois, and ran up front and really been competitive, and he's also a big-time modified racer around our area, and he was one of the guys who was injured pretty badly in an accident over at Volusia when a car went out of the park. So just wanted to say we're praying for him and thinking of his family and hoping he has a speedy recovery.
Very well said, Dan. Well, good luck tonight, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks.
Dan Murray, driver of the number 5 tonight, as he looks to be the only 2-time winner from Steel Horse Racing in Victory Lane for the Daytona 300. Now, Sean, we have a new sponsors. We mentioned Patriot Fire. We're going to get to know them pretty well this season. And a new championship format for those who have not been around. Talk about the format for this Patriot Fire Cup season.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, we've got a 37 race season this year. Okay, now what we're doing is we're going to break it up into 3 12 race segments where a champion will be crowned at the end of those 3 12 race segments. Now, the third and last segment will be crowned at Rockingham, the last segment race of the season. That's the week before the season finale at Atlanta. That will be that 37th race. In Atlanta, they will crown a season-wide champion, Chris. And who knows? It could be open to any one of these 43 drivers here tonight. But you've got to win this one to get off to a good start, or at least put her in the top 10 to feel like you got a fighting chance heading off into race 2 of this very, very competitive season.
Now, let's talk about the storylines this evening, Sean. As you mentioned that new race format. We get the lap 60 tonight. We're going to give bonus points away without a caution. You're going to see the bonus points given to the winner all the way down to 10th position. But that's one of the stories tonight. But the first one, let's bring up this new Loud Pedal Motorsports. Every time we've been on the track, they have been a force to reckon with. They won the B-Car race Tuesday night for the Sim Racing Apps Grand National Series. They won that one with Paul Pepper. They've won a duel already with Brian Yazik. They got Krobach still fast. They got Scott Eckrich fast. Can they win in their first try tonight as a team?
Yeah, you know what? I'm worried about Yazik, though. I'm going to be honest. He's got those rookie stripes on that bumper, and he's already played a little bit here in practice. Nobody wants to work with him because of those rookie stripes. But seriously, Chris, I think Yazik's actually going to be fine. I think, honestly, Yazik being a full-time entry here this season really helps Loud Pedal Motorsports' effort. He's already been a champion in a couple of different stops along the way, and he certainly makes that talent pool for that team pretty deep. And I think Loud Pedal will be a factor in that top 10 before this race is over this evening.
So the second one I have to ask is, you go back to last year, it was lap 114 when the big one happened, which was 6 laps to go, and of course turned into a 1-lap restart with Dan Murray going to victory lane. When or if will we see the big one tonight?
You know what? Based on the races we've seen so far here over the past couple weeks, Chris, I wouldn't be at all shocked if we didn't have the big one in this race. I think every driver here has learned a little something from what's gone on this week, and these speed weeks have been fun, but again, I think every race has been a learning experience along the way. I think you're going to see everybody in this field be pretty careful here early in this race. If there's a big one, I favor it later rather than sooner.
Agreed there. Now, upset winner. We saw Randy Oakham go to victory lane that first dual race. We've seen Paul Pepper, if you want to call that a reset or a upset in the Sim Racing Apps Grand National Series. DJ Beverly in the Truck Series Tuesday or last Sunday night. Is it an upset potentially brewing tonight?
You know, I pick a number out of a hat and stick with that number. I mean, it's Daytona, and really anybody can win. It could someone, yes, and I'm going to pick someone for you to shoot for.
Oh.
Give me Adam Blattel. Why not? Adam Blattel. There we go.
How much did he pay you to say that?
No, he didn't pay me anything to say that. Let's go with Adam Blattel. I'm going to go with Adam Blattel. So, but like I said, Chris, it really could come down to anybody. It's so important where you are on the track here with about 20 to go. If you find yourself all the way at the back and you've not been able to move up through the field much during the evening, chances are you're not going to be able to do it there in the last 20. So somewhere in that last 40 to 30 laps, you've really got to get yourself up towards the front somewhere to be competitive at the end.
And then, of course, the question we asked Dan Murray just a few minutes ago, and I'll ask you now, Sean, can he go 2 for 2 tonight?
I think Dan can. He talked about it in the interview. He's learned a lot this week. So I think Dan's ready. And listen, if you know the way to victory lane, it's certainly a lot easier to get there. But this race is more about luck and having a car that'll actually handle well. Now, this is a fixed set on these machines, so it is a lot of driver. The set should be the same for everybody. It will be. Dan's a good pick to put her up there in victory lane tonight.
And I'm going to throw one. We didn't really talk about this much tonight, but I'm going to throw one more out there for you, Sean. The new fuel in here. Last season, it was 60% fuel. You were only able to go about 25 laps on a tank of fuel throughout the race. Tonight, it's back to 100% fuel for the season, so you're looking at 2 stops. So, question there is, will that affect you, especially with the tire wear? And 2, do you see anyone going with a backup pit stop style here, where maybe like the road course, you pit at lap 20, so that come that halfway point, you can get to lap 60 and potentially be in the front?
Well, you know what, Chris, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the strategy in my book. Okay, now the problem is getting someone to work with you. You're so dependent here upon draft that you've really got to have a couple of cars that are willing to work that strategy with you. And if they aren't teammates, if you're running a solo effort and you're looking for help, it could be tough. Obviously, if that's a team strategy, that's something that could really work out for 3 or 4 cars that are hooked up together.
So that leads me to the question. You said Adam Blattel is going to be your guy tonight, and we'll find out really soon here in about 5 minutes or so. They're just wrapping up their happy hour practice here. Who will be the guy that goes to victory lane here in the second Daytona 300? We mentioned the race format, 120 laps tonight. 60 laps halfway, we give away 10 bonus points all the way down to 1. So 10 for first, 9 for second, 8 for third, all the way down. And that should be really interesting. And you go back to the dual races, Brian Yazek, Randy Oakham, they already lead the points with 10 bonus points apiece after their dual wins. Anything that crosses your mind, Sean, tonight that you think could be something we need to look for?
Well, yes. And as much as I hate to bring it up, something to look for. We talked about the big one happening. It seems to have been happening in a lot of the sessions. You could see instances of what we call net code. This is that type of track where that could happen, equivalent to having some sort of major mechanical failure. It can be a race ender for not just yourself, but for many around you, should that come up. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully they can get through this race without any of that this evening and have a smooth one. But we'll see. Another thing, you mentioned tire wear. Now, I've run a lot of these sessions here over the past couple of weeks. I honestly think this new tire model, or the tire model we're working with right now, Chris, I think it's really good. And these tires actually hold up pretty well deep into the run. And
we'll have to see how that goes tonight, because we saw in the Sim Racing Apps Grand National Series race Tuesday night. There were cars wrecking on their own, which I found pretty interesting. And the trucks, a whole nother story with that setup. So we'll see. We're just about 2 minutes away or so from the anthem, so we're going to step away for a quick break. We'll come back from the national anthem and get ready for the start of the Daytona 300 here on GSRC. Back at the Daytona International Speedway as we get ready for the running of the Daytona 300. And before we do that, though, we need to honor America with the national anthem right now. And we're about ready for the big moment that is the Daytona 300 race, the number one of the 2017 season. Again, a 37 race season that basically 36 races are going to be separated into 3 different segments. And then race number 37 will be the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and that'll be the finale in November, which should be very interesting. And it puts an interesting strategy into things too, Sean, because drivers can come in and they can actually sign up for not only just a full season, but they can run just a little 11 race stint.
Yeah, you can opt to run just a segment and still have a little bit of fun and earn some points. So, yeah, the format changes. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to see how it works out for all the drivers and teams involved. And I'm excited to be part of it this year.
And it's going to be fun to watch how it all transpires this year. And we'll find out here. Race number 1 coming up here in about literally 40 seconds or so. Actually, they're starting to grid right now, it looks like, for the Daytona 300. So let's take a look at the starting lineup. As you know, the front row decided last week with Tommy Ryan starting on the pole in that number 6 Northern Tool car. He'll start alongside Josh Krupa.
All right, second row is going to be Randy Yoakum on the inside and Loud Pedal Motorsports own Brian Yazik on the outside.
Yes, I'm not the first one to do that. All right, that made me feel better. Row number 3, Joshua Kingner on the inside, and the guy who started last in the duel finished second in that race, Scott Eckridge.
All right, and then row 4, Gregory McDougal going to be there in 7th, and Matt Murphy on the outside in 8th. A couple of Carolina drivers.
Yeah, Gregory McDougal, kind of the surprise story from the duels Thursday night. He actually was out of the draft with 10 to go, and then all of a sudden, bam, finishes 3rd with the wreck. Rich Jetty there on the inside, on the outside of row number 5, Rhett McBride.
All right, row 6, Reed Rundell in 11th, R.J. Williams in 12th.
And then row number 7, Tyler Dalton there in the number 09, starting 13th alongside Michael Krobach.
Row 8 is going to be Steve Ritter on the inside, and Tim Johnson going to start 16th.
Justin Rodden inside of row number 9 in the 27 car. He'll start 17th alongside Jonathan Cadell.
All right, and it's going to go back to row 10 for Drew Carroll starting on the inside, the number 87, and Gerald Livingston going to start 20th.
Another Loud Pedal Motorsport guy, Woodrow Mahan, going to start there in the 21st position. And alongside him, make sure I get this right as I'm looking. Tyler Dalton. I must have got mixed up with Tyler Dalton earlier.
All right, Bob Bryant going to start 23rd. DJ Beverly 24th.
Gary Whitson, Norman Peltier in row 13.
Rick Thompson, Paul Pepper, row 14.
And Dan Murray, there's the winner from last year, starting 29th alongside James Krahula.
Adam Blattell, my pick there, 31st. Travis McQuiston, 32nd.
Nick Cohan, watch him tonight. He'll start 33rd alongside John Wilco.
All right, then you got Michael Krobach and Snoop Doggy Don Runkle, 36th.
Might be the winner of the Facebook video award today. Ricky Harton start alongside Mark Allen, Jeff Ward, Brad Collins for 39th and 40th. Your final 3 starters, Devin Cannon, John Hensley, and Thomas George. It'll be 120 laps to complete the 300 miles. Lap 60 will mark a halfway winner, get bonus points, but we got to get the green flag first. It is in the air, and we are racing. 2017 Patriot Fire Cup season underway. Look at that outside line going to work. Yazik going to push Skrupa out there in front. And here comes that inside line. Tommy Ryan working back that inside. Of course, he has the 8 there behind him. Randy Yoakum, his group is going to drop in. Is he going to be the first guy to lead a lap this season? Nice and organized start. Now, the good news is we made it through this corner, unlike Tuesday night. And across the line, it's Skrupa leading the first lap of the season. Again, if you do want to chat with us tonight, you can do so. We are chatting with you on our, of course, Global Sim Racing YouTube channel and also on iRacing Live. If you're watching us tonight, welcome into the Premier Racing League and our debut tonight on iRacing Live, Sean.
Chris, they are side by side all the way back through the field, and everybody cranked up to full speed now. These cars are wound up and moving. Both lines moving right now, top and bottom.
Yeah, speeds of over 200 mile an hour. That inside line starting to get the advantage. There's Randy Yoakum there inside of Brian Yazik. Everybody pretty much in the draft. Woodrow Mahan has already fallen out. Uh-oh. I'm sure he's not excited about that.
Yeah, we've got a lot of cars looking for opportunities to drop in now and get down on that bottom line.
Yeah, I think you're going to see that inside what we call the snake going to get formed up because a lot of people criticize racing for being like this, but you know what? I don't have a problem with it, and here's why. You can lose the race on lap 3. You can't win it. So get in line and ride. But I say that, and you see, 3 or 4 cars on that outside, everybody else trying to go single file. Did you ride on board with Rhett McBride there in 7th?
Yeah, Rhett, one of those cars still caught up top. trying to make it work up there. They're hanging on. I gotta be honest with you. You're doing a good job.
Well, in this weather, too, you got overcast skies. Your temperature is 72 for today, and the track 72. So weather very familiar to what Daytona has here in the month of February. That is what we're seeing here on the track tonight. Skrupa, Ryan, Randy Oakham, Brian Yazik, Scott Eckridge got that inside line. You see the side draft trying to work there with the 42 of Matt Murphy, who had a great run in his duel.
Yeah, and hey, for our Woodrow Mahan fans, not sure what happened, but he was not able to start the race. His connection dropped out and disconnected from the service.
That's a shame. That's one of the loud pedal guys, too, as a matter of fact, making his debut with the team tonight to 12. And I'm not sure what rules there are, if any, when it comes to drivers falling out and getting laps back. I'm pretty sure there's a system or something if they either get the lap back or they don't. But we'll find that out here a little bit if Woodrow gets back in here.
Look who is at the back of this field all the way in 42nd. James Grahula. Now he's only separated from the leader by 3.5 seconds, but still, Grahula all the way at the back.
So you're saying this might be an organized plan?
Might be. Look what's going on up front, though. They're still fighting for the lead up there at the front of the field.
Oh, Woodrow Mahan on chat. I'm just seeing the power went out at his house. You picked a fine time to leave me, Power.
Wow, that's a really tough break, man.
I'm assuming he's not going to be naming the Power Lucille anytime soon.
Well, it would bode him well to get back in this race. I mean, there are points to be gained here. I don't know if everybody finishes this thing. You've got a chance to come in here and at least compete for points.
Look at that 42. He's bringing that outside line. It's only 3 cars. But Matt Murphy's got Rhett McBride and also the 77 of Rich Jetty bringing that outside line. They're doing some side drafting, too.
Some of the drivers out there asking for a little patience. Just be a little careful. Still really early in this race, Chris, but certainly off to a good start. Really wheeling around here towards the back of the field here a little bit. They are splitting up and getting out back into that top line, trying to make it work again.
Well, just remember, last year, these guys went, I think it was 86 laps, if I remember correctly, without a caution. They went all the way to 35 laps to go before they had a caution. Now, obviously, that could happen any time tonight. But, you know they're going to ride. These guys know what they're doing, and they know what they need to do to win a championship. As you're right on board with McDougall there, that number 1 car riding right there on the inside line. As most of these cars are, as Skrupa continues to lead. He's been the only leader so far.
Bob Bryant and Drew Carroll, and Bob just stuck it back down on the bottom line. He was up there working with Drew Carroll, and now Drew Carroll up top all the way by himself there, back in 18th spot.
And Bob Bryant, that is a sleeper name right there. We talked about him in the dual races and stuff. He actually has won 2 of the Daytona 500s on iRacing. So this guy knows how to win restrictor plate races, and he's been up front during the duels. He had a little issue happen when he was involved in a big wreck, but he's going to be somebody to watch, I think, come lap 100 tonight. Let's keep that eye on that number 53 there.
Oh, Drew Carroll threading the needle, getting down right behind the 54 of Tim Johnston, and the 64 of Gerald Livingston. Yeah, let's pick that up on the replay. Man, that was close. Drew Carroll, you're going to watch the 87 here. He's riding up on the top line and just slips it right in. Yeah.
Woo. Well, and he might have been communicating, too, with the 56 Peltier there, and they might have worked it out to where he could get down there. But, hey, you got to do what you got to do. You find a hole, your spotter says cleared. You got about that much time to get down there.
Those 3 still fighting up on the top side there towards the front.
We've been green the whole way so far of 10 laps, and you see the outside line starting to go back to work a little bit here. The 42, the 2, and the 77 have come back together. They're back at about the 8th position. You see R.J. Williams there at 51 on the bottom. Oh, and McBride crosses down. He's like, you're on your own now, buddy.
Boy, oh boy. Can I get a friend? Matt Murphy just left out hanging to dry.
Nobody's singing "You Got a Friend in Me" apparently here.
Yeah. He's going to be able to get in there now. Going to lose a few positions because of it, but he's now down in line. Matt Murphy sits there riding in 11th.
2 cars we need to watch back here, 41st and 42nd. John Wilco, Don Runkle Jr. They're starting to kind of fall back from this pack a little bit as they sit about 5 seconds back with these 2 cars. They will not be able to hold up with this pack if they cannot get together and get up there. They're a little bit in danger here.
Got some cars moving here in the back of the pack. Good battling going on. Nick Cohan in the 21 stuck down on the inside, and they're side by side back here in 26th, 25th place, battling.
Yeah, let's look at some of our big movers so far as we're 12 laps in. Looking at Reed Rundell from 11th up to 7th, 12th to 8th for R.J. Williams. 25th to 15th for Gary Whitson. That's a pretty good jump right there. 26th to 19th, Norman Peltier. Remember, in the truck race last Sunday night, Norman Peltier started 37th and finished 4th in a 60-lap race. I think there's a reason they call him Storm and Norman.
Yeah, Storm and Norman was on it. I am really stuck in this battle back here. You've got all these guys, Nick Cohan and DJ Beverly, Travis McQuiston, Paul Pepper, Michael Krobach, Devin Cannon, Jeff Ward, all stuck back in this battle back here for spots like 25 through 35, and it's side by side and it's intense right now.
Yeah, there's some good names back here. You mentioned Dan Murray. You mentioned him. You mentioned Travis McQuiston, who won you want to call it the consolation Sim Racing Apps Grand National Series race on Tuesday night. One that somebody actually participated in that's up in this booth, not named Amjad or myself.
Boy, Adam Blattel is getting a serious push right now from the 09. Blattel in the number 9.
So we're coming up on that point right now. As you see Blattel, as you mentioned in that night, we're riding on board with them, hashtag Adam Blattel. Basically, we're getting to that point now where we're coming up on lap 20. How many cars do you think, Sean, it will take for somebody to, you know what, let's get down pit road now and get these tires so we can get to the halfway point? 4, 5, 6?
Boy, things are going so smooth right now. I'd almost be a little reluctant to pull that strategy right now. This draft is so tight. The field is still so close. I think it's going to be really tough to get guys to commit to doing that right now. Ooh, man, still a lot of action here at the back of the pack. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, they're moving around here. I'm watching these cars getting a little wobbly. The tires are probably starting to wear a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, with the overcast skies at 70 degree, you might not see the tight in this car. You might actually get a lot of grip out of these cars in the middle and the late part of this run. You see Cohan get a jump out of line there on the 35.
Yeah, Cohan puts that Toyota up on the outside, and he pulls it right up in front of the Clyde Torkel's Chicken Pit machine, the number 27 of Justin Rodden.
Now, I know we're not supposed to be biased, but that's my favorite thing. Anything with Clyde Torkel chicken on it's awesome.
Hey, fastest chicken in the South. Sponsor made us say it.
Lugs, you leave something in my car?
Yeah.
If you guys don't get a chance to, get out and watch Stroker Race. Might be the greatest race movie of all time that nobody's heard of.
Oh, there's plenty of us that have heard of it. Trust me.
There's plenty who haven't. Trust me, there's people I've talked to like, what? What movie? Burt Reynolds? Smokey and the Bandit?
Well, you know, if we head up to the front of the field here, Josh Gruper in that Patriot Fire Chevrolet is really looking strong.
Back where we just were, Drew Carroll just cut the nose off of Cohan. That almost got ugly. Going to happen in 3 and 4. You're going to see Cohan gets that run, and Carroll almost got there too late. Watch that red and white car there. It just jumps up there. And Cohen was there. I think if that was lap 115, there might have been a wreck right there.
Yeah, boy, that was awful close.
The first car outside line is the 13, Gary Whitson. He has the 53 there with him. Bob Bryan, I mentioned that name a second ago. He's got Drew Carroll. You see other cars trying to move up to the top side. The 77 is going to go up there, and here comes that high line. Jetty decides to get back in.
Yeah, sometimes. Was that the 77? Rich Jetty does decide to finally go up top there, puts it back out there, Chris.
It's all about, you see that momentum get up there, because the longer the train you can find, you'll be able to get to that front eventually.
Reed Rundell.
43 jumping up there, Reed Rundell, yeah. This is how you get to the front.
Got a bunch of cars working up there now. Amazing. Just 3 laps ago, we were single. Look at everybody else stepping out there.
That pack is moving. They're about to go 3-1. Rundell's going to stick somebody in the middle. I think that's McDougal that said, oh, now Rundell gets shuffled.
Oh,
Yazik jumps up to the top.
Nobody went with Rundell. Nobody went with him at all.
See the loud pedal guys up there in that top line.
Look at Yazik go on the top side. Here he comes. Look at that momentum. Wow. What a push from Eckrich he's getting.
Eckrich, definitely a great racer. There's a reason why he was the champion last season. 8 wins, led over 43% of the laps. You know, how much of a bargain was he to loud pedal to get the contract signed there? And speaking of loud pedal, here comes Yazik to the outside from the booth to the 55 car. He was here last year in the seat that I'm in. He kept it warm, and I appreciate that. But here he comes for the lead.
From the booth to the pavement, here comes Brian Yazik. Right there on the outside of Josh Scruper. They're going to come out of 2 and head down the back stretch here. It's going to be a race into 3. Side by side all the way back here, Chris. Great battles going on all throughout the field still here.
Nice, yeah. Outside line kind of stalling a little bit. There's not really enough help behind him. You see Whitson's the last car in line at 13. And then you got about a 2-car gap back to the 53 of Bob Bryan who's starting to fall off. So that outside line all of a sudden, kind of like a hurricane hitting land, just kind of shreds apart. That was for Sue. So up front though, 2x2, Yazik not giving it up. Yoakum doing a great job being patient there. 3rd car inside. Tommy Ryan there in that 6. Pole sitter just hiding. Just kind of riding right there. You got the 51. Here comes the McDougal car. He's telling the 51, hey, we got to check up a little bit here. And I know they had a little game actually, Sean, on Facebook earlier, and we had a lot of fun with this. We actually did our own videos, but there was a bunch of Facebook Live videos with the Premier Racing League. Oh, I thought Yazik and Ryan got together for a second, but Ryan's going to jump up for the lead. At first, I thought they were going to get turned. Move him to the front, 2nd lead change, Tommy Ryan. That Northern Tool Ford is looking pretty solid tonight. I stand correct? Yeah, stand correct? That's a Chevy. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there to the fans watching in chat tonight. Who's your pick to win? Who do you think is going to win the Daytona 300? Tommy Ryan's group is looking pretty good. A lot of good cars out here tonight. Sean made his pick earlier, went with the hashtag Adam Blattel. And let's check on Adam. Adam is currently in the 29th position. Back there with Dan Murray, just kind of riding single file.
Yeah, he's either going to thank me or love me by the end of the evening, one or the other.
Yazik starting to get shuffled back. He is kind of on his own there. Matter of fact, Eckrich is gone. He's going to pick him up here. Teammates trying to work with each other.
Yeah, that bottom line's starting to move again just a little bit. Chris, can I talk about the patience again being shown out here? We talked about it in the pre-race. Lessons learned this week, over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think they learned, especially after Tuesday night, and Nick Cohan felt terrible about it, but they made it to turn 3, and Cohan turns down, and the big wreck ensues on lap 1 of the Sim Racing App Grand National Series race. So I think they all learned their lesson tonight, and they're like, hey, we're going to ride. Last year, I continue to beat this dead horse, but 86 laps, they went green to start this race, and here we are, lap 24.
And race fans, that's why you want to be here every week on the Premier Racing League here on the Global Sim Racing channel. You're going to get this effort every week out of these drivers. These drivers are absolutely committed to this effort.
And you're going to get this kind of field size, too. I know a lot of leagues have one of those deals where you'll get 43 to start with, but then by the time you're at the final race of the season, you're at 20. Every race for the Premier Racing League, I remember last season they went to Rockingham for race number 2, and there were 43 in that race. So it's definitely going to be fun. Next week we go to Homestead and then the road course at Sonoma for week number 3. Definitely a very mixed bag of races here to start the season off. Oh, the 42 little door side there. The side draft, that's what I'm trying to get.
Gotta love these onboard shots there with Scott Eckridge there, and Eckridge making a little bit of move on the top side, right up next to the 2. Rhett McBride there, and the James
He's a little
machine.
off the bottom. Got to be careful with that.
Oh boy, McBride really having trouble hanging on to it there.
Now, at this point, last season would have been green flag pit stops, but remember, another 15 laps or so. They can go about 40 to 42 on a tank.
Ooh, maybe even 43 if you're drafted in the right spot.
I wouldn't stretch it that far, brother. Not this early in a race. I mean, if you've got 43 to go, okay, I understand, but not this early.
No,
especially
I don't
with
think
bonus points at lap 60.
I don't think anybody will be doing that.
So I'll share a kind of funny story here. My Daytona times, I grew up in Florida, about an hour and a half south of Daytona, and we always went to the races, my father and I and stuff, and we always went to the ARCA race and the shootout. And every time we watched the ARCA race, we always had what we called the ha-ha car. And the ha-ha car in ARCA was always the last car that seemed to never be able to stick with the pack. Sounded like it was running on 7 cylinders, but somehow would finish 10th because everybody wrecked. So tonight, if we're going to have ha-ha cars, we jump to the back. John Wilco, Don Ruckle Jr., some 20 seconds back for the pack.
Yeah, and 20 seconds at, the field is about halfway around to them. If you're going to run out this 40 laps here, they've got to be careful. The field is going to catch them and possibly put them a lap down before we get to that pit stop.
Yeah, they're about a second slower than the leaders right now. Leaders ran a 44.7 last time by and a 45.6 for the guys there in the back. So it's about a second a lap, about 20 seconds. Do the math. You're looking at about another 25 laps or so before they go a lap down. So they definitely need a little help with the yellow.
They keep working together, they can hang in there. And as long as these guys keep fighting side by side here throughout certain parts of the field, they should be okay. But there is still a lot. We're going 3 wide here, heading into turn 3. The 64 and the 56.
Whoa. That's close. 9 up there with him, too, of Tyler Dalton. Now, I mean, worst case scenario, they go a lap down, and as you know, man's best friend is our good buddy Brutus. They can always ask for help from Brutus.
Brutus is in the cage, but I hear he's ready.
Brutus might need to go to the bathroom soon, you're trying to say?
I didn't say it.
Hey, I got yelled at in a truck race for making a comment, so I'm leaving it alone.
Well, here comes Steve Ritter in that number 16 back there. He's trying to hang on to 20th place up on the top side. He's got the 27, the Clyde Torkel chicken pit of Justin Roden right in front of him.
We need to figure out some kind of deal, Sean, if we were to mess up and call Justin Roden Jake Wright accidentally. Because we all remember that 27 last year was Jake Wright.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
I see what I got.
You saw where I was going with that.
That's right.
No, that's Roden.
Well done.
Second base. Nobody gets that.
Who's on first?
I'll tell you who's in the lead. Tommy Ryan.
He's in first.
Yeah, he is. Tommy Ryan at the point. Josh Skrupa still there riding with him.
How about Gregory McDougal there in the fourth position? He was one last. We talked about him in the dual race. Lost the draft, but then got the couple cautions he needed, and all of a sudden he was racing for the lead and the win.
Well, Eckridge doing a pretty good job by himself, sitting here in sixth place. He's riding that top line, but he's getting great side draft. He's keeping it real close. Look at that car move by itself there, Chris. Yeah, good job by Eckridge there up top. He's keeping it really close, really tight, getting that side draft and continuing that run up the side of the cars on the inside. Sitting there in fourth, Randy Oakham. The next car there he's going to battle with side by side. They headed to one. Tommy Ryan still on point. Josh Skrupa second. Randy Oakham third. And McDougal going to get back under Eckridge. He's lost that momentum. Oh, is he going to try and step inside? Well, actually, yeah. McDougal kind of gets up in front of him there, and looks like Eckridge is going to decide to stay up in that top line. Here comes R.J. Williams in the 51 just below. He's got Rhett McBride rolling with him. Oh, Rhett McBride almost makes contact there with Eckridge. There might have actually been a little bit of contact. That was so close. McBride does a great job of hanging on to the car. Eckridge still with some momentum up there up top. Getting absolutely no help from anybody behind him. It's the Scott Eckridge show up top there. The Ready to Frag machine is running. Everybody back to the field, still side by side as we get back into 15th, 16th place. And Eckridge finally gets back in line with everybody. Got tired of fighting up there by himself. The next car on the top side is the 77 of Rich Jetty. And he's getting a little momentum now up there on that top line. He's starting to move a little bit. Let's go back to Brian Yazik. Yazik sitting in 13th place up there on the top side. Now getting a little help from Justin Roden right behind him. Roden going to look to the inside. Dips it down. Yazik running in the middle of the track. Gets a great run off. Looks like Yazik going to decide to stay down there on the bottom. Man, what a race so far. 35 laps in the books. And that pit window, I think the window is starting to open just a little bit. We're getting close. I expect to start seeing these drivers come in here in the next 2 or 3 laps. Like Chris and I talked about earlier, no reason pushing it.
You split the race, Sean, basically in threes. You go 40, 80, 120. So there's no reason to go past lap 40. Plus the earlier pit, you get a caution at lap 41, and all of a sudden, bada bing, you're the leader if you're the first ones on pit road. I know it's kind of interesting how you work that strategy, but you want to be one of the first on pit road in this kind of race. You mentioned that outside line. It's starting to go to work. The 42 with Rich Jetty there behind him. Matt Murphy. Murphy in that Murphy Motorsports car, owner-driver, working his way on that outside line.
And listen, I think what we've seen so far is if you're a little faithful to that outside line, it will run. Now, will it get you to the front and around our leaders? That we haven't seen pulled off yet. I think you're going to need a little more help than just 2 cars to get that done.
Yeah, the only way it was able to work so far with Tommy Ryan is he was the second place car, so he was able to jump to that outside and swing around Skrupa and get that lead. So we're at 37 laps. So we'll have to start listening here very closely when we hear pit stops happening. Now, we should update you real quickly. Don Runkle, John Wilco, they are they're almost about 3/4 of the track back now. They're coming across the start-finish line right now as they're coming out of turn 4. So they're going to go a lap down very shortly.
Yeah, but that pit window is open, Chris. These tanks are getting light. Been out here for 37 laps, working lap 38 now.
And you got 40 cars in this lead draft. 38 are single file. As like a kindergarten class, there's always 2. Got to get out of line.
Yeah, Matt Murphy and Rich Jetty just don't want to behave.
I think we're getting ready for pit stops. I hear 28 to 16 here. A lot of cars. I heard about 5 names mentioned. Hashtag green cone, get ready.
So the team captains are making the call, and it's a mad dash for pit lane.
Last year, this is what cost Scott Eckrich.
So far, so good.
Yep, you beat me to it. The cone survived one run.
Little contact there. Let's go back to the pack.
Looks like 2 tires out of everybody. 24, Thomas George already pulling out. So just to let you know, 2 tires is what I'm seeing here. Back to the pack, though.
RJ Williams making the call. He's coming in.
See how this one goes. RJ Williams going to be the first one, and he's coming in pretty hot. RJ Williams on pit road, Drew Devin Carson on Devin Cannon on pit road. Apologize for that. Looks like here the whole pack is coming now. Norman Peltier got a black flag for some reason here, and he cut the course somewhere. I don't know how you pull that off. It's going to be cleared. And look at this mess over in 3 and 4. They're catching all those slow cars, and now they're trying to find a way to pit road themselves. Oh, boy.
They're going to have to go around again. Oh, man. Our leaders, it looks like, may have gotten caught with traffic to the inside.
Well, and that's where you got that lap or 2 to buffle, but here comes... Oh, going in the grass there, the 60...
Gerald Livingston. Yeah, Livingston in the grass there on the entry.
That's a nice save. He's not going to lose too much in that. DJ Bever, or John Wilco, I should say, on pit road. These guys all lap number 40, and here come the rest of the leaders, I think, this time.
None of the leaders have actually made the call yet.
Well, I heard Yazik make the call.
Oh, there goes Tommy Ryan. Scrupa, everybody else. Whoa.
Everybody wanted down 60-mile-an-hour speed limit. Oh, there goes the cone. Yoakum got it. Hashtag cone.
Yoakum gets it in hot and wide.
Randy yoked the cone.
Oh, really?
Sorry, all yokes aside. You see Drew Carroll and Scott Eckrich out there on the track. Let's see where these guys all come out. Looks like mostly 2-tire stops. We're seeing some 4, but they're all back on track, and you got to be careful with tire spin here on these older tires. Everybody's got to enter on the back straightaway off pit road.
That is a big group getting back on track there.
Looking at Scott Eckrich here. He is up to full speed with Drew Carroll, and he's going to go by Don Runkle there to put him a lap down. These 2 are going to be the leader, I think, once they get up to full speed. We'll see here. They're flying into turn 2 and 3. You see them in that middle of the pack.
Well, actually...
On board with Eckrich.
Yeah, McDougal, your leader right now.
Until right there.
Okay, until right there.
Eckrich and the fast guys. Drew Carroll going to go to second. We'll get this all shuffled out here in a second. McDougal's going to be third. Scrupa 4th. Rich Jetty up to 5th. And how about Gary Whitson from 25th to 6th. Oh, contact. Oh, they all saved it. McBride was got in the back of Runkle. Well, he did get in the back, but he almost spun him. Everybody going past that 00, who is a lap down. Everybody pretty much sorted out, except you go back to this pack about 25th on back. You got Dan Murray back here, your champion from last year. These guys all double file. Of course, I say that and they go single file.
Chris, I got to say, that was a pretty darn good round of pit stops there.
Yeah, pretty smooth. The only issue I saw was Livingston going out in the grass, but it looks like he was okay in the end as he, well, the check timing and scoring appears to be down. Well, it looks like he's out of the pack. Him and Norman Peltier, 26 and 28 seconds back. So, and Bob Bryan didn't have a good stop. But Scott Eckridge, Drew Carroll, Gregory McDougall, Josh Skrupa, Rich Jetty, Gary Whitson, Tim Johnson, Rhett McBride, Steve Ritter, and Nick Cohan from 33rd to 10th. Don't mess with the Cohan.
Well, Chris, everybody, again, getting away from those pits, most of the field getting away from those pit stops pretty clean. And it's amazing how everybody has just kind of slipped back into racing where they were. Eckridge, your leader, Drew Carroll, following them very closely. Gregory McDougall having a solid run there in 3rd. Josh Skrupa in 4th. And Rich Jetty in 5th.
And the great thing about GSRC is you never miss a thing when you're watching a race here. As we're going to step away real quick, take a break, but you'll see the racing right on your screen as Scott Eckridge leads the Daytona 300. The action's starting to pick up for the lead as you're watching the Global Sim Racing channel side by side as the 77 of Rich Jetty. We were like, he's getting out there by himself, but he has got a line with him, and he is coming to the front with 13 of Gary Whitson, who, mind you, started way back in 25th position. He is up here this outside line. Rhett McBride on the outside, trying to ruin this Loud Pedal Motorsports 1-2 on the inside, Sean.
Yeah, and I don't know if Rhett McBride and Gary Whitson are going to be sending Christmas cards to each other anytime soon, because Gary just pulled right up in front of him and killed all of Rhett's momentum. But look at those two now actually working together a little bit there on that top line. We got a battle here up front.
Now, let's remind you, this is lap number 51 we're about to put on the board. We're 9 laps from the halfway point. Halfway, the leader will get 10 bonus points. So this is really going to start to pick up here. As a matter of fact, look at some of these names you're seeing up here. Steve Ritter. How about Nick Cohan? He's up here in this pack. So I think you're going to start to see this racing really pick up here in the next couple minutes.
Yes, business is picking up.
Business. As DW says, it's co-opetition. It's cooperating out there, and then it turns into competition. One car on the apron. Somebody's falling back. I'm trying to see what car that is. The Mellendorf, the 41's who that is.
And maybe Brian just getting out of the way of everybody, letting him get by there. Not sure what happened to Mellendorf that got him so slow, to be honest with you.
Right there is Jetty outside. He's kind of lost his outside line. Whitson there is starting to fall off himself. They're coming up on a group of about 2 or 3 cars here. Livingston's in his pack, Peltier and Bob Bryant, that they're going to put a lap down. This is going to get interesting. And we do appreciate everybody watching tonight on iRacing Live, the Global Sim Racing channel. If you want to talk with us, you can on our chat. We have our chats open and want to have conversations with you. If you have questions about the league or whatnot, we'll be glad to help you out. And hopefully you're enjoying the show like we are. Seven laps to go, and just to explain how that bonus thing's going to go, it kind of reminds you of the old Winston, I think it was $10,000 bonus they used to do back in the early 90s, where you get to the halfway point, and if you were leading, you'd get a bonus payout. Where in this, the bonus payout is bonus points. So basically, you get to lap 60 completion. There's going to be no caution. They'll get the points handed out, and they just continue on racing without interruption. See these hounds, about 31 cars in this pack as they're coming up on these 3-lap cars of Bob Bryant, Norman Peltier, and Gerald Livingston, who had those pit road issues. Let's see if they can handle it. But how impressive is that, Sean, too? 40 laps in a pit run, and you get out here and still got 30 cars in the pack. Yeah.
And only about 2.5, 3 seconds separates them in that pack. It's pretty, that's the level of talent we were talking about earlier in this league, the Premier Racing League, putting on one heck of a show. Now these 3 boys have got some decisions to make quick.
I thought at first they were going to stay on the bottom, but it looks like they are going to go to the top here, so they're going to have to squeeze. Hopefully they'll not look out the mirror and look out the windshield and keep it out of the wall, because that's the toughest part about this. Everybody so far minding their P's and Q's.
That's the tricky spot, getting off of turn 4 there.
Like Ken Squire used to call it collateral corner. One of the many broadcasters in racing that I would say that I wish would never age, but unfortunately, everybody does.
Yeah. Certainly one of my heroes growing up.
Yeah.
I saw that first broadcast, that legendary first broadcast.
You were alive for that, huh?
I was, yeah.
I bet you Amjad and I weren't.
No. Oh, the 64 really having trouble stuck up top.
Is that a transition?
Gerald Livingston doing a good job staying out of the way of everybody. He had trouble early and does a great job keeping that car up in the top line, letting everybody get by.
Mark Allen going a lap down now, said it's going to put 35 cars on the lead lap. Last car in the lead lap is actually 6 seconds back. That's Calvin Filarski, who I kind of owe an apology to. He posted a Facebook Live video earlier, and some reason I got him mixed up with characters from the Sandlot. I called him Smalls at first, but I got him mixed up with Ham. How I do that, I don't know.
Boy, it looks like Rahula and some of his boys are pretty happy to sit back there in the back of the field still. Riding back there in 26th.
Look it up front. Jetty going to the lead.
Ooh.
With 3 laps before the halfway point.
Yeah, we
Gary
shouldn't
Whitson, Nick Cohan up there, and then the lap car of Bob Bryant.
We shouldn't underrate these bonus points here, and Jetty getting a little bit more help there.
Should mention Jetty racing for Steel Horse Racing. They've got a pretty good reputation here at Daytona. And they're going to clear to the lead. Whitson going to go to second. He's going to cross over to the lead. And oh, by the way, Whitson Motorsports.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Ooh, Jetty's going to wish he had the bottom, I think.
Yeah, Jetty should have put that car down there before he gave that chance to Whitson. Whitson sold him out.
But you know what? You got to do what you got to do to get the bonus points. That could be huge at the end of the season.
But
there's no chase.
You got to be smart, too.
Yeah, but there's no chase. Remember that.
Well, Gary doing a really good job of getting that car up there. Listen, anytime you can pick up 24 spots in a race, find yourself up at the front, yeah, that's a good day.
Or even 29 points. If you look at Nick Cohan back there in the 21, he's been from 33rd to 5th. That's 28. I'll do my math one of these days. Jetty coming back to that outside. Here it is. The final lap of this first half of the race, we'll call it.
Yeah, well, he's got a new dance partner back there with Nick Cohan right there on his tail.
Who's going to get the 10? See if anybody makes a 3 wide move here. Not really close enough for it.
Ooh, look at that. There he goes. Rich Jetty starting to get... Oh, he's starting to have a little bit of momentum.
Is that Brian going up the middle? Who's that up the middle? That's the 25 of Scrupa.
Yeah,
right there. Let's see if Eckrich makes a move here. I think Eckrich is going to settle, so you can give the 10 bonus points to Gary Whitson for leading it halfway. And, of course, the American Pool Supply Halfway Award goes to the number 13 of Gary Whitson Jr. American Pool Supply. Good friends out of Las Vegas. They're proud sponsors of the Truck Series and the Halfway Award here in the Cup Series for the Global Sim Racing Channel. Or for Premier Racing League. Let me get it right. It's Daytona. I'll get the flaws out. All right, so now we can sit back and relax again.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, there's no relaxing because I'm telling you, this top line still doing a lot of good work up there. Rich Jetty doing that work with getting a little help now. Was that the 25 right behind him? Yeah, that is. That Josh Scruper there following him. And I'll tell you what, Chris, they are not done up there. There are still positions to be had.
And here comes that 77 again, Rich Jetty. Bringing that high line with Scrupa, and then you got the lap car of Bob Bryant. I wonder how many times I'm going to mess up this year and call him Bear Bryant. Of course, for those who don't watch football, Bear Bryant, one of the greatest football coaches of all time. Back when, never mind.
That's really going to mess you up if they put an Alabama paint scheme on that car, huh?
Oh, boy. Only thing we'll need is him to wear one of those hats, right?
Yes, I was thinking something about the hat, but I couldn't work it in. You did, thanks.
Yeah.
Now, look who's moving up here through the field. I see Mr. Brian Yazik now sitting in 9th place up top. Yazik, who was sitting all the way back there in the back of the field at one point, has now managed to get back up here, Chris, and back into this race, moving on that top line.
You know, you mentioned Yazik there, that loud pedal motorsport guy. I want to go back to his teammate here, back in the 18th position. We haven't said this man's name one time tonight. Michael Krobach. He's usually up front the whole time, and he started in the back and is just kind of rode and just kind of been patient. And here he is in that 7 car, just riding single file. It looks like I say that. And, whoa, 42 and 76 getting close there.
Boy, there's been a lot of those moments on track, though, where there's been, they're close, and almost this and almost that, and it just hasn't happened yet. This battle up front is real, though. Look at the front of the field. It's still a battle between Rich Chetty and Gary Whitson, side by side. Heading through turn 3, and it's going to be Whitson with the advantage. Whitson stepping out there by himself. Nice run out of turn 4.
Somebody got knocked to the apron there.
I think is that Steve Ritter, I think.
It is Steve
It
Ritter.
was, yeah, Steve Ritter. The number 16.
Oh, and he's coming up in the middle of the pack. He's okay. It looks like Ritter's off the pace on the apron, but there's contact with the 42 there.
Yeah, Ritter gets that apron, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Gets that left front down on it.
Oh, and that 42. Wow.
That almost ended Crowbox Day.
Meanwhile, up front, John Skrupa bringing the outside. The man who started outside pole has been kind of riding right up there in the top 10 the whole entire time. He's got the lap car, Bob Bryant there pushing him. Nick Cohan riding third car in line on that outside. Now, let's not overstep this either. We're about 14 laps from another round of green flag pit stops.
Now, Bob Bryant, that's an important spot for Bob to hang on to, Chris, because he is the first car a lap down. And, of course...
Oh, you mean he's trying to find a key to Brutus?
Yes. He holds Brutus's key. He holds the key to Brutus's cage right now.
You mean he's got the big steak in his mouth waiting to dangle it there for Brutus?
And Brutus looks hungry. I don't know if you've seen him lately, but
Easy, Sean.
he's looking
I already got
hungry
roasted by him once.
I think even Brutus would be happy if we went green flag the whole way. And I got to tell you, Chris, it's been one incredible race. Hats off to the guys on the top side that still keep trying to make it work.
Yeah, just looking at some of these cars. I want to look back here at 30th position. Actually, 31st. DJ Beverly, the 01 car, the winner of the American Pool Supply truck race that they had here Sunday night. And he came out of nowhere to win that race, and here he is back here 31st. You know he's waiting. He's got Jeff Ward there with him. He's got Brad Collins. They're just waiting for that moment, for their time to shine, and they just hope now as they get to, we're coming to 52 laps to go next time by, that moment shows up. I mean, this is the part where, and they're doing what I like to do. I'm the same kind of driver. I'll be running the iRacing 500 this weekend, and I'm going to be sitting right back there the whole entire time. And when I get to this point in the race where I'm like 50 to go and we haven't had a caution yet, I'm like, I might have made a bad decision here. And the problem is you can't really amend what you decided to do. You just got to kind of hope and pray at that point.
Yeah. You know what? I've been watching Yazik again. He really likes it up there on that top line. I got to be honest with you. He'll get down and he'll work on that bottom line for survival, but the moment he gets a hint of help in his mirror, he steps back up there again, and he is starting to move the 55 machine back forward again. Oh, big check up there.
Oh. Well, he's got help from Rick Thompson there in that 76 car, and they're going to get a good run on that outside with everybody checking up.
Big check up by Rhett McBride. Tommy Ryan almost got into him there, Chris.
Yeah, you got the 51 there of RJ Williams, the rookie, Forward Autosport. Haven't mentioned much about the rookies. Matt Murphy done a good job tonight. Reed Rundell's done well.
Brian Yazik.
And for the lead, Skrupa.
Wow. They just, I'm more impressed, a little more at every lap.
Well, I repeat it again. 86 last season. We're at 70 now. Got a 76 Rick Thompson there, that Speed Mafia number 76, fourth car on the outside. Rick, he started, I'm seeing this right, 27th position. So
Yeah.
that's another guy that started in the back.
That's the American Pool Supply Ford, the number 76. Working with Yazik there.
He's waiting to go swimming with the fishies up here in the front.
Swimming with the fish is fine. Sleeping with the fish,
No, it's so bueno.
not so much.
Yeah,
Not so
Josh
much.
Garupa going to take the lead now. As we have just completed lap 70, and we should remind you, the 53 outside, that's the first car a lap down. Bob Bryant is hoping for a caution.
And he is in Brian Yazik's way right now. Yazik wanting to get busy. Keep it moving.
I heard rumors that he's already taken off his knob off the gear shifter to throw on the track here soon. Ryan Yazik, here he comes on that outside to 55.
That pit window gonna be opening soon here, Chris.
I think within the next 6 laps we'll open up that window. So about lap 78 that window opens. And again, you want to be the first on pit road, because if you guys come to pit road and then all of a sudden there's a wreck, those cars on pit road are going to be the leader.
Yeah, being first to pit road's fine, but I always worry about those guys behind you. I don't want to be somebody's brake pad, you know?
No, never. So once again, we got the kindergarten line formed up again here. We got 40 cars in the draft and the 3 that are always outside the line. Safe to say those 3 will not get the safety patrol award in 5th grade. They will not be first in line for Chicken Nugget Wednesday.
Well, you know, Bob Bryant doing a really
Yeah.
good job of running smooth. I mean,
He's doing it clean. Absolutely
yeah,
agree.
his laps are just really smooth. I've been watching that car and watching his line, and that car is really handling well. Shame he's sitting where he is, and he's hoping for a caution. Hope is running out now with just about a little over 46 laps to go here.
And we should mention Brian has one of the more interesting team names in this league, and that's Goat Rope Waste Racing. I have to figure out the goat rope part, but hey.
Well, in Texas, goat ropers those are cowboys. Those are men who like to ride the range and have a little bit of fun, swill a little beer every now and then.
You telling me you've done that before?
I might have roped a goat or two.
10-4. I don't know what else to say to that. We've lost Jeff Ward. He's gone behind the wall. Jeff Ward, the Mid-South driver, and I believe a Loud Pedal Motorsport guy. Yeah, correct. Loud Pedal Motorsports has lost the second guy. Not sure what happened, but he's gone behind the wall. Let's see if I can. I'll see if I can find him real quick. What happened? Maybe a spin or something. Oh, he blew up.
Chris, I found nothing. But if you're saying he blew up,
I got him right here on the screen. He was just running. Yeah, he's just running in the pack there behind the 83, and his engine went up in smoke, shall we say.
all of his dreams have gone up in smoke today.
Too bad. Never mind. I won't say any Don Runkle jokes here.
Chris,
Yep.
I'm getting nervous, man. I'm really getting nervous here.
We'll watch Thompson kind of drift up there a little bit. You know what? They've done a great job. There's been a lot of patience out here.
Now, Bob Bryant, he doesn't have to come in with these guys. He's got a little bit more fuel in his tank, but
I think it's smart he does, though.
yeah, well, that's where I was going.
55 just jumped in line here.
Yeah, Yazik
Get ready. I think you're going to see pit stops here. Yazik wouldn't have jumped down for no reason.
Positioning. It looks like Bryant's trying. Oh, there's no hole for him there to get into. He was wanting to get in there. Yeah, it serves Bob Bryant to go in with these guys. He wants to stay as close to the front as he can.
So you got Eckridge there behind the 55, and you got the 87, Drew Carroll. Oh, almost some contact there with Carroll and Rick Thompson. He tried to get to the bottom.
Coming on the radio was Michael Krobach there having a slight connection issues. Sounds like he's okay now.
Jeff Ward over in chat right now on YouTube pretty much saying random blow up.
Boy, Rick Thompson dropping like a rock, Chris, on the outside there. Now finds himself all the way back in 10th place after being up there with the leaders.
Do we have our first all by myself for the night?
No, boy.
I won't sing it. Don't worry.
I can't hit that key.
I was told in our meeting earlier this week that our ratings tanked 10% when I sung the song, so I won't do it anymore. Or even when I spoke proper English by saying I sang the song. I know Bora Thompson has just been some checking up here. Do you see him getting that run on the outside? Going to side draft Cohan, that Toyota Mobile. The K&N ride. There is a gap. We'll see if Cohan lets him in. And we're going to have pit stops this time by. Let's see who's coming. Brian jumped to the high side. And here comes Scroopa, the leader. And who else? Oh, there goes Daytona again. McDougal got it.
Oh, what a shame there for McDougal. Having such a fine race.
Gruhula had to get on the binders to get to his pit stall. He did a great job avoiding everybody. We'll see if McDougal gets a pit road penalty. And 27 who's shooting his stall of Rodden. Caution is out of trouble. The break that everyone's looking for.
It's Rhett McBride and the 76 of Rick Thompson making contact coming out of turn 2.
Oh, what we just talked about, the pit stops. Oh.
Oh, boy.
Only
Let's
two
look at
cars.
this from above.
I think I'm seeing a good friend of ours making an appearance here tonight for the first time, and I'm not talking about the dog.
Yeah, you're just coming off the turn there. You're going to see Rhett McBride and the number 2 and the 76 there get hooked up.
I don't know if Amjad has a way to get on the right door or left door of McBride or Thompson. I think Netcode made an appearance here.
Left door of Thompson right here. We'll see.
Yeah, a little bit of Netcode, I would say.
Yeah.
That was a good 6 inches of space there.
You know, there's that personal bubble, Chris, and that was real close to the personal bubble.
Well, let me ask you this question, Sean. What's the difference between that right there and side drafting we've seen all race?
Not much. Yeah, and it is unfortunate. You'd hope that they get just as close as you can. You get a sheet of paper in between each car, but that's not always the case. And that's a tough break. That's going to be our first caution of the night. Oof. Well, so now you've got the rest of the field coming in. Everybody who didn't pit. This is going to be interesting. Rich Jetty in, Brian Yazik in, Kerry Whitson, Scott Eckridge, Drew Carroll. It's a fight for the pit stalls. What will be the strategy here? You might as well go ahead and take 4. Fill her up. Jetty getting out of there quick. Looks like he may have opted for 2.
Now, Sean, one man's loss is another man's joy or pleasure in this case. Lucky Dog Award to Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Bob Bryant back to the lead lap into number 53. And, of course, Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. There's Brutus making his first appearance and probably happy as heck to be out in the grass going to the bathroom right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to step away real quick as we'll get the field all set back up with the pit stops we had right before the caution, and we'll get you through these last 37 laps of the Daytona 300 on the Global Sim Racing channel. Back at the Daytona International Speedway as we have, if I do the math correctly, carry the 36 laps to go. And we should mention wave around cars real quickly. Justin Rodden, Norman Peltier to third, Calvin Fularski, Gregory McDougall, who did serve a penalty there on pit road, Devin Cannon. All these cars are going to get back, I believe, within the lead lap of this race as they have taken the wave around and getting back to the lead. The cars that pitted right before the caution came out: Josh Krupa, Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, James Krahula up to fourth, Randy Yoakum, RJ Williams, Ricky Harden, Travis McQuiston, Adam Blattel, Rich Jetty, Gary Whitson. Those are the cars that all came to pit road before the caution. They are the leaders now. Remember I said earlier, first to pit road, you'll be the leaders. But you know what they say, cautions breed cautions, and let's get ready for 36 laps of a showdown here. Skrupa is going to bring him to the green flag, and we're back underway. Lap 84. Now, I should mention, Sean, last season in July in the summer race, that race went caution-free. So this is the first caution we've had at Daytona since last year's Daytona 300.
Already got guys peered back in the field, diving towards the bottom line.
We got some black flags, looks like, for passing under the yellow back there. Fularski got his cleared. Looks like one other asking for, I think it was McDougall. Krahula and Ryan getting shuffled on that high side. They got room on the bottom right there if they get behind the 51, but otherwise going single file at the front.
No, I say you stay faithful to it. Keep working up there. We've seen it work several times tonight. I think they're going to roll with it. They see company coming.
Yeah, the more names to mention. Ricky Harden up to the 4th position. He started 37th. At number 15 for Goat Rope Racing, another member of that interesting name team. That's not that we're opposed to it. It's a cool name. What? Just interesting.
Adam Littell starting to get some help now from Gary Whitson.
Littell, the pick of Sean's. Could you imagine if he won the 300, how social media will be in the Premier Racing League channel?
Oh, my. I will tell you this. Hashtag Adam Littell will trend on Twitter.
There would be chances that it could be the number 1 tweet of the night. Oh, he pushes up there to the 4 almost.
Oh, boy. Krahula sitting right there in that MP3 design Chevy. At the Ford of Adam Littell right there next to him.
Ricky Harden to the outside.
Yeah, you know what killed that? That was the run by Tyler Dalton there, right up under the leader of Josh Scrooper. That killed Ricky's run.
Racing starting to pick up. Lap 87 in the books. A lot of communication going on. People trying to keep in line and keep them all straight.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of communication. Just love it. Everybody talking to each other, making sure.
There you see Ricky Harden to the outside for the lead. He hasn't cleared him yet, but he's got Tommy Ryan on that outside.
Yeah, I don't think Ricky's going to leave Tommy up there either, or James.
Hey, what? These Goat Rope guys looking pretty good. You mentioned Brian earlier, able to run up here in the front and get his lap back, and now here comes Ricky Harden.
That's 3 Chevys hooked up.
See that 93 up top there on the outside line. Travis McQuiston started back at 32nd. He's running 8th. You got Littell there to 9th. He started 31st. It's Jetty in that 77. He's been competitive all night too.
Boy, I got to tell you, I love what I'm seeing up here on the top side out of Ricky Harden and Tommy Ryan and James Krahula there. This could be trouble for the rest of the field. Those 3 continue to stay hooked up at the. Oh, and look at Krahula. Decides to leave him and get down on that bottom line. Does it right in front of Adam Littell.
Going to be coming up on Rick Thompson here. He is off the pace here by a good 20 mile an hour. This is going to be very interesting. He's going to keep it up on that high side.
Wow, from 0 to 0, man. That's a tough break for him.
Yeah, you feel bad, and you know he probably feels bad thinking it was his fault, but he's going to see in the end that I think he did no wrong.
No. Nope, you've been cleared.
You've been cleared of any wrongdoing. Scroopa continuing to lead that inside.
Yeah, Krahula knows where his bread is buttered, man. He got back up there in that top line. Randy Yoakum getting a little wide on the turn there. Almost getting contact there. Oh, wow, Yoakum getting a little contact from behind there by R.J. Williams.
Oh, and Littell going to jump to the top. He's going to bring Jetty with him, maybe. Meanwhile, Ricky Harden getting that outside line to work a little bit. He's going to get ahead of Scroopa. He's going to come down.
Not going to leave his teammate. Not going to do it.
He's almost got it cleared. Ryan does, maybe. Littell going to jump back up to that top outside line. Meanwhile, here comes that second line. Look back there, Gary Whitson, Brian Yazik, the guys who kind of lost a little track position with pit stops. They're working their way up. .204 mph across the start-finish line. That is just absolutely flying.
Give it to Ricky Harden.
He led that lap by 35 100s. How about Tommy Ryan? 69 100s in third. You got the front 28 cars all within 2.7 seconds, and Dan Murray back there in that 28th position. I wonder when he's going to make his move. Ooh, Harden almost got put in the middle there.
Nah, he was just trying to break the momentum there.
I think he might have been trying to get Tommy some air too.
Hey, Ricky wins that one.
Wow, and that one by 5/1000ths of a second. So the question here is, you got 26 laps to go next time by. When, if you are back mid-pack, when do you start getting side by side and getting up here? Because you know eventually you got to go.
That's good. You better get up here to this party quick. Travis McQuiston is the man leading that charge back here in 10th place. He's bringing along Gary Whitson and Brian Yazik. And they are going to be next to get into this pack.
Not to mention, you have a line of Loud Pedal Motorsports cars. You have Brian Yazik, Scott Eckridge, Drew Carroll, and Michael Krobach all in line. That's 4 Loud Pedal cars. Pack coming together. McQuiston brings them up there, and here we go. A pack of 30, we'll call it 28 hungry hounds.
Wow, Scrupa back to the point. That top line starting to slow down just a little bit. They need a little momentum here coming through 3 and 4. Littell back there falling off just a little bit. Trying to catch Krahula.
It's just hard to be that one car, the last car in line on the outside with these Gen 6 cars. You need somebody to get up there to help you to keep that car fast. And should mention that second group. Let's go outside this pack real quick. Back to the 30th position here. These guys here side by side, McDougall, Don Runkle, Rhett McBride in here. These guys need to get single file. If they're going to have a chance to catch this pack, they got to get single file now and run the queue line. You know, right now they're a good, I would say, 3 seconds back. Make that 4 seconds from the pack. They're just losing it right now.
Yeah, they are.
I say more about 2 seconds back, I should say.
And they've got to be careful. I mean, you know, they're racing hard. They don't want to race too hard. Don't be that guy that ends this great run we're having here.
And you see, it's like they're watching us on a stream or something. All of a sudden, they're sorting out single file. Stop watching the stream, guys. Must be racing. Meanwhile, up front, the single file line is just turning the mayhem up here.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yeah, wow. Scrupa's all of a sudden on the bottom there with a line on his outside.
I'm running out of words for it, Chris. They've had me on the edge of my seat since the green flag dropped at the start of this race.
Yeah, well, 3 wide, somebody's shooting the middle. Oh my gosh.
Blattel gets up there, gets really wild. DJ Beverly in the 01 has got to check up.
Oh, another car in the middle,
close.
Rich Jetty.
And here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, boy. Krahula in the wall.
Oh, this is big.
Michael Krobach caught up in that. Adam Blattel missing his front end already.
Look at Dan Murray going through the grass here. He's going to get through it. Krobach's in it. Reed Rundell. Carnage.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 3 wide just did not work out there, did it? Let's go to Murphy's onboard here. Take a look at this, Chris. Riding with Matt Murphy there in 20th at the time.
Whoa! He got a little bit, maybe.
A little bit of damage on the right front there, it looks like, but overall misses most of that.
And let's also look at, let's go on board with Murray. He was in the back there. Dan Murray, the champion from last season. We're going to look at it. You see it again from high above. There's at least 15 cars in there. And now on board with Murray, last year's champion.
Yeah, and it really starts with Jetty trying to shove it up through the middle there, and he makes some contact with the number 8. And, and then mayhem ensues, basically. So, yeah, that's a tough one here in the closing laps of this race.
Yeah, Murray I'm just going to take the grass through here. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just going to... Wow. We got pit stops and some split strategy happening here. Tires. Yazik on pit road. He's got damage on that 55. The 77's got damage. The 35, Josh King, got heavy damage. A lot of the damaged cars on pit road here.
Crahula, one of the really, really big losers in that. That car was just destroyed in that incident.
Meanwhile, the one in McDougal, he doesn't look like he has much damage on that one. Don Runkle Jr., we should mention, he's going to get the Lucky Dog Award. The Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog going to Don Runkle Jr. and Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. The Coastal Safety Auditors, so Brutus making a second appearance, a cameo for him tonight for Snoop Doggy Don.
Wow, what a nice pairing.
seems to be working perfect here. Now I'm actually going back here while you see Don Runkle on his camera. I'm going to try to count the cars that were in this carnage.
It was a bunch. Basically, the guys just in front of that were extremely lucky to avoid that, Chris.
Yeah, this accident happened right in front of Yazik, pretty much. And McQuiston's in it, so there's 3, 4. I'm counting 5 cars right now. I'm going to keep this going here. Yazik barely gets a piece. Add to 13 of Gary Whitson to it. Scott Eckrich made it through. I don't know if there's any way if we can get a replay. I don't know, it might be too late now.
Yeah, actually, our magnificent director can pull that up for us, Chris.
As I'm just counting the cars involved in this thing. And all of a sudden I watch Scott Eckrich, the 70 car here. He's right behind Yazik.
And the Red Sea has parted.
Parted. 67. Oh, wow. I'm counting at least right now 16 cars in this wreck. The 42 gets a piece. The 19, is he going to get a piece?
I think that classifies as enough to call that.
That's the big one.
The big one. Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and call it 20 cars in this wreck. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to screenshot this for Mr. Brula later.
Well, and Mr. Crahula now with some opportunity to screenshot that himself because he's not going to make it back on track. Again, that car was destroyed in that incident. Real shame for a lot of those guys after such a long competitive race to have that all unfold right there. And it was... well, you know, you're getting close to the end. You're looking for an opportunity to get yourself to the front, and a little bit of close racing there erupts into just chaos.
And that's what it turns into. And we're about to go back to racing here. Just past lap 100. We're going to have 19 laps to go in the Daytona 300. Josh Skrupa, Ricky Harden, Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, Scott Eckrich, Paul Pepper. Sergeant Peppers is up to 6th. Oh, yep, they've thrown the caution, I think, here. He must not have been one to go. I thought they were. Oh, okay. They must have fooled me with the whole side-by-side thing. I've been Ambrosed.
Yes, you have. Well, hey, listen, we got a lot of guys up here in the top 10 that have come all the way to the back of the field to find themselves in the top 10 with, when we get started, 18 laps to go, Chris.
Yeah, including Mr. Dan Murray in 8th place. The winner from last season is back into running, Calvin Filarski. How about Devin Cannon? He is up there also. And for those, by the way, who are playing the bingo game for when the big one would happen, lap 98 is your winner. You can collect your proceeds later. Should mention, by the way, Sean, coming up after this broadcast, our buddies from Lionheart are going to be racing the Lotus 79, so look forward to seeing that. I believe their broadcast is on right now, actually. So
yeah,
as soon as you're done with this one, you can go jump over to that one and watch that broadcast. They Watkins Glen, I believe?
Watkins Glen. Yes, the Lotus 79 at Watkins Glen with the boot.
Without the interloop.
I was there last night. Yeah, without the interloop, and I was there last night with him, and man, what a blast that track is in the L79.
All right, so Scrupa, Harden, Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, Scott Eckrich, Paul Pepper, Nick Cohan, Dan Murray, Calvin Filarski, Devin Cannon, your top 10. You got 24 cars still on the lead lap. The question is how many are down? The pace car coming back out. And one car jumps to pit road.
Wow.
One car, I'm getting a number from here. The car that went on to pit road was the 53, I think it was Bob Bryan, I think. It was a red car that came to pit road.
Now, that was not thrown by an admin there. So that was kind of strange.
I hope we don't have an issue. I've heard about this issue before where a glitch happens and the pace car stays out.
Oh, no.
I have heard about this once.
Oh, no. That one I have not heard of.
Which could confirm our rumors that Soup is driving the pace car tonight.
No,
that's right. He's in the other booth. Touche.
Soup is on the Lionheart broadcast tonight.
Well, then my second would be Richard.
Oh, we're all in trouble if that's the case.
We're going to look in the pace car here, see if we can figure it out. Zooming in as much as got tinted windows. Too illegal in the state of Florida, I think, for tinted windows.
I think it's noted lounge singer Engelbert Humperdinck behind the wheel, actually.
Well, let's see what the pace car does this time.
It better peel off.
It peeled off, and we're going back to racing.
Wow.
No glitch, thank goodness.
Talk about creating drama.
We almost had a 1976 Talladega Cup race all of a sudden on our hands. For those who haven't seen that video on YouTube, you can see where the pace car got stolen once.
Tyler Dalton driving it like he stole it right now, right behind Ricky Harden on the restart.
Now Harden's going to get the outside rolling here. I think they're going to get the lead here. Harden's going to go to the front. Can he 09 clear? They're clear. Oh, not now.
Not now. No, it was open very, very shortly.
Going to be coming to 16 laps to go. You see plenty of undamaged cars here in this pack.
What? Oh, man. The battle is real. Who was that moved up the top there? That was the... Cadell making it 3 wide back here. Yet they have sorted it out.
But up front, Harden trying to get that high line rolling. And here comes Scroop on that inside. Look back here at High Line. Eckridge getting it rolling with the 29. Paul Pepper. Can he win himself a Grand National and Cup race in one weekend? I believe Hardin led that lap.
He did indeed.
Hey, what? That outside line is getting pretty organized.
A lot of rubber up there. Good grip. Still got the nice low temperature here on track.
Devin Cannon crosses over to the bottom. Devin Cannon started 41st on the grid.
There's only a couple of cars up here that belong.
Well, anybody belongs. If you're on the lead lap, you can win it.
Yeah, most everybody else from the back of the pack.
As Mike Joy always says, you got to be in it to win it.
Well, everybody is still in this race. Everybody here up in the top 15 or so, let's say, or top 18 or so, really in touch with this pack.
But still 2 by 2 by 2, all the way back to about the 10th position.
Oh, they're checking up. They're checking up bad. Getting checked up behind Roden there. Paul Pepper and Dan Murray.
And these guys all trying to communicate with each other in case they get too hot. There's packs starting to separate out. Looks like about 10 cars, make it 11. Calvin Filarski, and then that second pack falling back a little bit with the damaged car of Brett McBride, who was in that first caution. Appreciate everybody watching this on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing channel. Of the drivers who were just in a big wreck who had to leave the room, we feel bad for you guys and wish you the best of luck next week at Homestead. But unfortunately, as Daytona and Talladega says, the big one happens.
Yes, it does, unfortunately, and it did tonight. McDougal getting passed back here by Dan Murray. Dan Murray looking to the inside. McDougal opened the door a little bit for him to get in there. He's bringing Calvin Filarski with him. This is a battle for 10th. Murray up to 10th.
Yeah, this pack's starting to kind of spread out a little bit here. As we are coming up, we're going to have 11 laps to go next time by. Only 2 cautions for 10 laps so far in this race. But plenty of things can happen.
Murray and Filarski really hooking up now, desperately trying to get up here to the cars in front of them. They've got
trouble!
Filarski
gets turned. The 62's in it.
Don Runkle gets around, coming out of 4. I think he might have had a little bit of help. Runkle makes contact actually with the 16.
I just looked up out of the corner and I saw a car sideways. I for some reason, they tried to bump draft in the corner, and that just wasn't happening.
Yeah, and Brad Collins gets caught up in that too. That car gets up on its lid. Runkle winds up on his lid.
I thought it was Filarski. I apologize for Calvin there. I thought it was him and Murray right there, but it wasn't.
I'm going to go on board with Don Runkle here. I'm sorry, John Wilco. There's Runkle right there.
Bam. Right in your kitchen.
Wilco, nowhere to go.
I saw a wreck look familiar to that back in '97 on the backstretch that had Ernie Irvin's hood fly up into the grandstands on the backstretch of Daytona, hence the new tether rules that have been on the insert of the cars.
Anybody looking for pit road here? Certainly not anybody up front. I think you're all
you're done. You're bed set. I think if you're last car in the lead lap, sure, why not?
And you're going to have some guys fake it here, but I certainly don't think anybody's really going to come in.
Looks like everybody. I thought maybe if you were in the back on the lead lap, you would. I say that. Travis McQuiston. Looks like it's going to be Brian Yazik going to win the Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award. Brian going to get Brutus for the first time with him. He always talked about having Brutus, and there he is. Brian Yazik, the Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. It's Coastal Safety Auditors. I need to learn to read my own handwriting.
The HPP simulations, Ford making his way around. Yazik, boy, he was having such a great night. It's turned into a pretty tough one for him now. That car got a pretty good amount of damage there on the front end, running for points here at this point, but he's going to get a chance to do it on the lead lap. So good job by Brian by at least sticking it out and staying in this thing.
So the way we're seeing this right now, we're at lap 111, so we've officially hit 10 laps to go in this race with the third caution. We've actually matched the cautions we had last year in this race. You're going to have Ricky Harden. He is the leader. He was the leader at the time of caution. Josh Garupa, Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, Nick Cohan. Going to be your top 5 now, and I think we're going to see a restart with about 7 laps to go. So if you have an opportunity right now and you got a box of Oral Redenbacher with you, you might want to go bank it. Should be getting 2 to go this time by, so we'll see the green, yeah, exactly 7 laps to go.
I think the popcorn setting is 2 minutes and 20 seconds, so I believe you have enough time to get that done.
You do. Minute 52 is the last caution lap, so there you go. That'll get you a lap of caution. You'll get back with 1 to go. Even enough time to pour some butter in it. Sean, no, this race has been everything we've looked for. I mean, we got word last September that we were going to be a part of this series doing the broadcast, and we just knew from there, man, we can't wait to get back to Daytona, and this has been everything we've looked forward to.
Yeah, and you know, all these guys, everybody here on iRacing, well, put a lot of time in at Daytona here in the month of February, and you know, you're coming out of that, let's face it, pretty short winter, only about 60 days, and you're itching to get here to Daytona, and we spent a lot of weeks running here leading up to this week and this weekend. Nice to see it all culminate with a great race this evening. But I will say this, when you're done with Daytona, February draws to a close, you're really kind of ready to put it behind you until it comes up again in July.
Unless you win.
Well, of course, the thrill of victory stays with you a long time. But for those of us that are road racers, also think about the time you spend here in January, and then you flip it around and you get here in February. And after about 60 days of Daytona, it's time to move on. Let's go look at some different real estate.
When it's all said and done, I remember exactly, we ran 745 laps, the team I was on in the 24. And if I complete all the laps in one league race tomorrow night and the 500 for iRacing, I will complete 1,045 laps in Daytona. So, obviously, yeah, it's a lot of laps here. But one thing, it's just always fun to be a part of it. And we're about to see here who's going to win that Daytona 300. And Sean, I just got a text from somebody in Syracuse and Oswego area of New York, and they said that 60 days of winter thing, you could take that back. I believe they are over 100 inches of snow in that area right now of New York.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it was 90 in Texas today, and yeah, and they've got a lot of snow on the ground up there. Yeah.
Well, it was 63 here up in upstate New York, so.
It was about 54 degrees out here on the island, Long Island, New York, and it was a beautiful day.
I was wearing shorts.
I was too, sir.
You liar. You were in the house the whole time. Anyways, so we're going to go green. It's going to be 7 laps to go. Remember the point of no return, which is about 5 to go. Will they stay green for the 7 laps? I'm not saying another word about it. Here it is, Ricky Harden. He is your leader. Inside line, outside line. Josh Skrupa, Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, Nick Cohan, Scott Eckrich, Devin Cannon, Justin Rodden, Paul Pepper, and last year's champion Dan Murray in the 10th position.
Oh boy, here we go. All for the marbles here, Chris.
According to Lewis, it's 60 in Los Angeles. And green is out. Let's see if the 09 up, he's not able to get to the bottom. Good restart for that inside line.
Yeah, Ricky got a nice jump there on the start.
You know, and here comes Skrupa. That outside is starting to work it up now.
Yeah, well, it helped by Cohan moving up top there. Here he comes. Ooh, Scott Eckridge moving up top also.
Yeah, the 09 up there. Eckridge is up there. Here comes the 83 on the inside of Devin Cannon, the rookie there.
Well, apparently that's where all the cool kids want to be, is on the top side.
Could you imagine a rookie going to victory lane in this?
Ooh.
Wow, who led that lap? Oh, Ricky Arden led by Scoosh. 3 thousandths of a second.
Give it to Ricky. Boy, the big loser there, Tyler Dalton getting shuffled all the way to the back of that pack. Here comes Paul Pepper.
Should mention Calvin Flarski back there, the lonely car, right in this, right outside this pack. He's got to catch up.
Yeah, Calvin not getting any help.
Oh, 3 wide. Skrupa getting Sam Cannon gets to the Skrupa.
And he's around.
They saved it.
They saved it. Still trying to hang on down there.
Everybody saves it and goes on. 5 laps to go. You're going to see here, Cannon just came up the track.
Wow.
Now, this pack is separated to 5 cars now. Nick Conan is on the outside here with Scott Eckridge.
They're not going to get caught now. This is a breakaway by these 5 cars.
Well, if they get single file back there, they could catch them.
Yeah,
they got to get single file, though. They're double file back there.
I don't think they're going to get single file. I really don't. Everybody's, we got cars in the wall back there.
Oh, trouble. And that's going to end it.
Oh, Gary Whitson. Gary Whitson. Yeah, Whitson moves up the track a little bit and makes that contact with Drew Carroll. Is that Drew Carroll in the 87? Let's take a ride on board with Drew Carroll here. Drew going to get heavy damage here. That's definitely contact.
Yeah. Looks like 13 come up the track there, and Carroll just unfortunately nowhere to go. And you look up front, it is going to be Ricky Harden in the number 15 car for Goat Rope Racing, going to go to victory lane in the Daytona 300, it appears, if he can get back around. Nick Cohan is going to come ever so close with second. It looks like Tommy Ryan going to be third. Scott Eckridge, Paul Pepper going to be the top 5. They got to come around. They still got 4 laps here. Make that 3 now.
3.
We could see a 1-lap shootout here.
We might.
So real quickly, let's see who would be the lucky dog in this case. I'm trying to peek over here. Not sure who got the lucky dog here, but either way, there was a lucky dog, and we'll go ahead and give Coastal Safety Auditors their.
Well, yeah, it's going to be Steve Ritter.
Yep, so Steve Ritter's got the lucky dog award. Yeah, right there, Steve's getting it right now. So Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment. Steve Ritter going to be your lucky dog award winner. Again, Coastal Safety Auditors, and I think that's going to be it, because with the wave around now, they're going to have to get 2 to go next time. Yeah, that's going to be it, because there's 2 to go next time by.
Yeah, several of the drivers throwing out their congratulations to Ricky now, but hey, we will stay on board here until the checkered flag, and I'll tell you what, Chris, what a race this evening. You hate to see it end that way, but listen, I would say 85% of this race was flat out and exciting.
Yeah, it was very exciting. 4 cautions tonight for 14 laps. Numerous lead changes. I'll have to get the number here as soon as I can find it. But it's great racing all the way through. When it was all over with numerous cars leading laps tonight, and we had the big one, and no matter what, it was some great racing. Hopefully everybody on iRacing Live enjoyed it. Hopefully everybody in the Global Sim Racing channel enjoyed it, and I surely did. Sean, I'm sure you did, and I know everyone watching probably did. As we'll get 2 laps to go this time. I'm trying my magic powers over here to get the lights to go off on that pace car, but it's not working. So it looks...
Did you hear, while we're talking about Daytona and we were kind of waxing nostalgic just a moment ago, did you hear the rumor about possibly testing the Cup cars at Daytona on the road course?
I've heard about this. The road course at Daytona, I think Indianapolis was also mentioned on that road course list too. I think that would be very interesting. The only thing I would worry about
very
is...
tight.
The only thing I would worry... Yeah, but I'm more worried about coming out of turn, what would be going into NASCAR 1, and then without a restrictor plate all the way down to the bus stop, and then all the way back to turn 1. That could be a 200-mile-an-hour speed there.
I think my favorite spot to watch them would be watching them get through that bus stop, to be honest with you.
You think they climbed the curve at Watkins Glen? Watch this.
Yeah, and I also thought the mention of the Indy road course, that would be a bit interesting. I don't know if I'm as much of a fan of that one as I am of Daytona, but certainly would be interesting to see what they could do.
I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. But either way, we remind you when we're done here with the broadcast is they'll get the white flag. You can jump over to our other Global Sim Racing channel for the Lionheart Lotus 49 broadcast with Soup and Tanner Sharp. They're over there on the second channel. And as soon as we're done there, you can jump over to that and check out the race. But first, we're going to talk to the winners, the winner, I should say, and then, of course, the top 3, if not more, drivers. But the white flag is out, and as long as Ricky Harden can run 80 miles an hour for the next 2 miles, he is going to go down in the history book. But I'm going to go and throw out the secret right now. If you want to win the 3rd Daytona 300 next year, you want to wear number 25. Because number 5 won last year, number 15 wins this year.
I'm going to put a future bet on that. Yeah,
unless I don't know. I could see Sean Ambrose pulling shenanigans and wearing the number 25 next year.
Ricky really put in the work there late. I want to go back to what those boys were doing up on the top side of the track there, him and Tommy Ryan and James Corhula before James got involved in that late caution. They were faithful to that top line, and they were really able to make it run and work really well. A lot of rubber laid down up top this evening. You have to ask them about that when we get them in for an interview.
Yeah, that'll be definitely some great questions asked. But so as the cars come off of turn 4, in the end, it's going to be 4 cautions for 16 laps. Multiple lead changes, but when it's all over with, the 15 of Ricky Harden and Goat Rope Racing wins the 2nd Daytona 300. Nick Cohan going to be 2nd. Tommy Ryan, Scott Eckridge, Paul Pepper going to be your top 5, and Ricky Harden becomes the 2nd man to put himself on that top step as a winner at the Daytona International Speedway. We'll talk to him, we'll talk to Cohan, Tommy Ryan, and others and more when we come back on the Global Sim Racing channel. The Daytona 300 is complete. Ricky Harden has etched his name in the trophy, and he will be winner of the second Daytona 300. Congratulations to him. Nick Cohan going to finish second as we take a look at your final standings. Tommy Ryan going to finish in the third position. Scott Eckrich, good run for him after last year's poor finish. He finished fourth. And then Paul Pepper getting a top 5 finish after his win Tuesday night in the Sim Racing Apps Grand National Series. Jonathan Goodell, good run for him, finishing 6th. Tyler Dalton, Gregory McDougall finishing 8th. Calvin Filarski 9th. Josh Skrupa, after almost pretty much getting taken out, comes back to get 10th.
All right, then 11th going to be Rhett McBride. Hard luck for him, but he does finish 11th. Justin Roden, 12th. Drew Carroll, 13th. Dan Murray, 14th. Gary Whitson going to have to settle for 15th tonight. Joshua King, 16th. Bob Bryant, 17th. 18th going to go to Devin Cannon. Tim Johnston, 19th. And Travis McQuiston going to round out the top 20.
21st through 30th. Steve Ritter going to be the last car on the lead lap there as he got the Coastal Safety Auditor's lucky dog there at the end. He finishes 21st. Brian Mellendorf 22nd. Norman Peltier the third, 23rd. All these cars involved in the big wreck. Brian Yazik 24th. John Hensley 25th. John Wilco 26th. Rick Thompson 27th. Gerald Livingston 28th. Don Runkle Jr. 29th. And Brad Collins 30th.
All right, 31st going to be Thomas George. Rich Jetty in 32nd, having a good run. Had some bad luck there, got in a big, that was the big one. And 33rd, DJ Beverly. Reed Rundell, 34th. Matt Murphy, 35th. Randy Yoakum, 36th. James Gruel, 37th tonight. R.J. Williams, 38th. Adam Blattell, 39th.
Hashtag.
Michael Krobach, hashtag I'm sorry. 40th, going to go to Michael Krobach. Tough night for him. Mark Allen, 41st. Jeff Ward, horrible night for him, 42nd. And Woodrow Mehan, unfortunately, had that power issue there in his home, was not able to get in the race.
Yeah, he said in chat 3 seconds after the green came out, his power went boom. So tough break for him. But right now we're going to go down to victory lane. Ricky Harden, as he celebrated literally everywhere on the track. He went over in turn 1, celebrated, came over to turn 4, celebrated, went to the infield and celebrated, and he's made it to victory lane. Ricky Harden, I know you're probably waiting for me to say this to you. You just won the Daytona 300.
Woohoo! This is awesome, man. I can't believe it.
Now, I asked that question earlier in Facebook chat. I said, what would it be like to win it? So I'm asking you right now, your thoughts, what it's like to win a Daytona 300.
Oh man, it's just awesome. You know, winning at a track like this is just teamwork. It's a lot of working together and a lot of strategy and a lot of everything just happening to go your way. And I tell you what, we hit the strategy right. We pitted right when we said we were going to pit on the last stop, and the caution fell, just at the right time that got us all up front.
And then Ricky, you took advantage of poor starting position, 37th, and just patiently worked your way through the field, and with the caution free the first 80 laps of that race. I mean, that had to be a little nerve-wracking for you.
Yeah, at the beginning, man, we just kind of hung out and tried to manage the car and be careful, and that was a good strategy for us. It worked well. I was kind of afraid that there was going to be some carnage, and then there wasn't. But I said, we'll make it up on the first pit stop. Some of my teammates were back there with me, James and Mark Allen, and we just hung out and waited. And, after the first pit stop, we were back with the leaders. I was up in 20th at that point. So I knew, we wouldn't be riding around in 40th anymore.
Well, yeah, it seemed like your goat rope guys there just did a fantastic job throughout the night. I mean, Bob Bryant fought as could be up there in that outside lane to get his lap back and did so, and unfortunately only got up to 17th, but he definitely showed the strength. It seemed like you guys had a good restrictor plate package.
Absolutely, man. We just work together very well as a team, and I think it shows how good Unacceptable is at these type of events. Obviously, we're going to have some really, really stout competition on the other types of tracks. But, I don't think anybody can compete with us as a unit out here on these restrictor plate tracks.
Well, Ricky, You're going to get the trophy. It's yours. Nobody can take this ever away from you. But got North Star number 15, Daytona 300 champion for 2017.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks to everybody at GSRC. Thanks to James for all the hard work he puts into this league. Thanks to everybody at Unacceptable Racing. Tommy Ryan, Josh King, Bob Bryant, all those guys that we worked with early on. It was a lot of fun. Tyler Dalton up there at the end with Josh Grupa. So, man, awesome.
And Ricky, you're third in points, by the way, going to Homestead next week. Congratulations on your win, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Ricky Harden, winner of the Daytona 300 for the second second Daytona 300, I should say, is Sean Ambrose. We're going to talk to a guy who he said to us in Facebook chat when we were talking to him earlier. He said it'd be really cool to be able to talk to us in victory lane, but 7/1000ths of a second when the caution came out. He's talking to us finishing second, Nick Cohan.
Nick, that Toyota was running all night, man. What a great run. Congratulations on a second place finish here tonight in the 300.
Yeah, it feels good to get a top 5 at a super speedway. I have horrible luck here and just not good at it, and just rode around all night and just made sure we had good pit stops and put ourselves in a good position. And tell you what, losing by 7/1000th is almost as bad as wrecking out on the first lap. It sucks.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, honestly, to manage to stay away from the carnage that happened in the second half of the race and come out with a second place finish, and listen, not to mention where it's going to put you in the points to start the season. Yeah, I know you want to win. Everybody wants to win, but second place, you're no slouch tonight, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like I always start off slow, and this is a good, nice start to the year. At least we're ahead instead of playing catch up in the beginning right away. So excited on that, and just glad we had awesome teammates tonight. We worked together good. We pit together good, and everybody at Steel Horse was a bunch of help. And I got to give a thanks to Scott Eckridge for helping me there at the end, going 3 wide there on the outside. I didn't know if he'd stick with me for sure, and he did, and almost had it. But I kind of know what it feels like to be Martin Truex Jr. last year.
Well, it was kind of cool to see the Ford Toyota co-opetition going on out there late in the race. But again, Nick, congratulations. There's a long season ahead. You talked about Steel Horse Racing. Are you guys primed for a team championship? Are you primed to win a championship this year yourself?
Yes and yes. I think we have some of the best drivers on this team, and I think if we just stay focused to the task at hand, I think there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to win a team championship. And as far as a personal championship, last year was a big letdown for me, and just a lot of bad luck, a lot of mistakes on my end, just wrong position, wrong time type of problems. So to start off this year good is good, gives us some confidence. But I practiced a lot this winter and made some changes, and I think we're going to be in a prime position to surprise some people this year.
Well, hey, buddy, get some practice in. Let's get ready to head to Homestead. Great effort tonight. Congratulations. We will see you next time.
Thanks, John. Just want to shout out, thanks, Swanee, for everything with the team. Toyota, K&N, and CJ Automotive, and just thanks to all my teammates tonight. A lot of great work.
All right, and that was Nick Cohan, driver of the number 21 Toyota. And great race for him this evening. Chris has caught up with our third place finisher, Mr. Tommy Ryan, bringing it home this evening in third. Chris?
Yeah, not a bad weekend when it's all over for Tommy Ryan. Brings home that Northern Tool Chevrolet to a third-place run from the pole. Ran up front pretty much all night long. Tommy, you got to be pretty proud of that effort.
Oh, yeah, man. Had a lot of fun. Ran up front most of the race. Voided a couple that were right behind me, but, man, it's overall a really good night for Unacceptable. got my teammate pushing him up there to a win. When me and the 15 get together, man, especially these plate tracks, we get nose to tail. We're coming. So it's awesome to see Ricky get another.
Well, Tommy, Chris stepping away there for just a second during the interview, but hey, I'll pick it up. I was talking just as the race was ending and we were in that long caution period there to end the race about how much time as iRacers put in at Daytona here over the months of January and February. It seemed to all pay off. Did you learn something every time you guys had a race here over the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean the cars, they drive differently, from the truck to the B car to this Cup car, but from the duels and what we practiced in qualifying and stuff, we kind of knew what would work, what could work, but you got to keep the engine cool, and as long as you can keep pushing, usually the bottom would prevail unless you got a bunch of guys on the top. But me and Ricky were stuck where we were, so all I could do was just try to stay tagged to his bumper. But yeah, we learned a little bit here and there through the week for sure.
And that top line really, really seemed to work for you guys. You were faithful to it, kept those cars up there, and really did some great work up there. A lot of rubber laid down there up in the top groove.
Yeah, man, I'd rather ride in the middle or the top. I hate bottom feed. I feel like claustrophobic down there or something. But, once you get put there and you're boxed in, there's not really much you can do except ride there and, maybe at least try to save some fuel so your pit stop's a little bit shorter if you're taking 2 or something. But, yeah, man, my team is just freaking phenomenal, especially at plate tracks. I mean, we got a pretty deep bench of good caliber drivers, all the way from really, really alien down to pretty good. I'm not going to say terrible, but we got a good variety of caliber of drivers in our team, and everybody has their niche at different places we're going to be going, but we got some heavy hitters on this team, and we're going to give Loud Pedal and all those other, Steel Horse, we're going to give them a run for their money depending on what track we're at. You never know which one of us is going to show up. So it's going to be a hell of a season, man. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it really is. And what a great way to kick it off tonight. Great way to kick it off for yourself in the points. It's always good to get ahead of the game early. And you did it tonight. Congratulations. Really fun watching you run tonight, Tommy.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's James puts on a hell of a show here. He puts in a bunch of work. He's basically doing this almost really by himself. And obviously with DJ Beverly backing him with Patriot Fire and Coastal Safety Auditors, we're able to do these broadcasts and call out sponsor names, Northern Tool and Equipment, and it's a blast, man. This is the best time I have.
Well, and listen, we're going to have a good time along with you for 36 more races. Tommy, congratulations again. We will see you next time at Homestead, my friend.
Right on, man. See you guys next week.
All right, and that was Tommy Ryan, driver of the number 6 Chevrolet Northern Tool and Equipment machine, and what a tremendous race this evening. So glad to bring it to you here on the Global Sim Racing Channel and iRacing Live, and my partner Chris. We really enjoyed the show this evening, and Chris, your lasting impression of this race?
Well, other than technical issues here and there on my end, the race itself, fantastic. We had side-by-side racing throughout the night. You had great green flag pit stops. Yes, we had the big one, which was unfortunate. We had a couple of pretty big wrecks when it was over with. But, hey, only one guy can get the win when it's all over with. And Ricky Harden pulled that thing off. And it was a fantastic start for the new relationship with you and I, Sean, being here in the broadcast booth now with Yazik being down there on the track. And I'm really looking forward to the next 36 races and looking forward to have fun. Your thoughts, Sean?
I can't wait to get to Homestead. This is going to be a great season. It was really fun to do that 300 last year, and I was all set up to broadcast the whole season, and then unfortunately another commitment came up that prevented me from from being part of that. I can't wait to be along for the ride this season. And Chris, looking forward to spending every one of those weeks with you, my friend.
I appreciate that. And by the way, the great news here, which some don't know, my dad actually lives straight down I-95, an hour and a half from the track here on our way to Homestead. And he told me he's got a brisket on the grill for us. We're heading there, John. So,
nice.
Anyways, special thanks to Premier Racing League for putting on the Patriot Fire Cup Series. Also, thanks to the software and hardware that we use to broadcast this out to you. And you can see the, obviously, names of the broadcast companies right there on your screen.
And also, thanks to our musical contributors, Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde, whose music you can find at the websites listed here on screen. For more information about future races, you can see the list on screen as we go out here, or you can go to globalsimracingchannel.com, where you can check out past broadcasts as well as see the future schedule. Don't forget, folks, we've still got the Lionheart Retro Series going on right now. You might want to jump over there and catch that race when we wrap up.
And we're also on Twitter at Global Race, or GSR Channel. About said Global Race Channel, but it's GSR Channel. And Facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. The next time we're going to be on the air for the Premier Racing League Patriot Fire Cup Series. Next Thursday, we're going to go south on 95 all the way down to Fort Lauderdale, cross over to the Florida Turnpike, and head down to the Homestead Miami Speedway. It is race number 2 of 37 for 2017. For Dougie Beard, I'm Jed Yaman, and Sean Ambrose, I'm Chris Scala. Congratulations to the 15 car. His name just left my head. Ricky Harden. There we go. Congratulations, Ricky Harden. Race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.